Our next speaker is Nitin Saluja. Nitin is Director of Public Policy at TikTok. TikTok has, taken the world by storm and with its hand washing challenges. And I'd like Nitin to go ahead with it. Nitin, over to you.
Thanks, Nandita. Let me begin by first thanking WaterAid for inviting me here for this session this afternoon. At TikTok, it's our mission to spread creativity and joy. And it is a platform that allows users to express their creative ideas through content, giving rise to extremely interactive challenges and trending topics that everyone can participate in. And I must say that it is humbling to see, how our TikTok global community has come together, more specifically in times of COVID-19.
Yeah, it made hand washing and the steps of hand washing, 20 seconds, viral all over the world. I think, let me tell you from my experience, nonprofits have been saying for the longest time that hand washing is one of the largest public health interventions. But COVID has, I think, ingrained that message in. Of course, and TikTok also, platforms like TikTok make hand washing creative with the dance challenge and with music and, and everybody learns. Yeah.
So, TikTok actually encourages creation through easy to use video capturing and editing tools, and resulting in a diverse pool of, very diversified content, and providing a direct way for creators and fans to connect with each other. And today, if you see the type of content that we have on the platform from New York to New Delhi, everyone is using innovative methods to create content. And with our simple product features, even just being at home. In fact, if you speak about the hand wash challenge, several NGOs actually have leveraged the platform to derive awareness about various programs and initiatives. And one of the campaigns that you just spoke about is the Safe Hands campaign, which we had partnered with the WHO globally and with UNICEF in India to promote, Safe Hands Challenge, basically to promote, hygienic habits. And since this WHO kicked off, this challenge, we've been overwhelmed by the dedication our community has demonstrated, to preventing this spread of this virus by, sharing songs and sounds and the, you mentioned about dance steps to encourage thorough hand washing. And you'll be glad to know that this campaign around Safe Hands actually received 4.8 billion video views on our platform. Just in the span of around a month and a half, ever since it has been launched. And WHO has been doing an amazing job in terms of posting content on the platform. They have around 1.9 million, followers with 5.3 million likes on TikTok. And they've been, using the platform to clarify, not just for spreading awareness, but also to clarify, facts about the virus and how it is transmitted, as well as bursting myths, around misinformation and, other stuff. And they've been using live extremely, aggressively in terms of pushing, such pieces of content out. And other than WHO, we've had some other credible organizations as well who've been using the platform. WHO is one of them. UNICEF India has come on board. We've done series of partnerships with them as well. Then we have UNDP, we have Love Matters India, where we had partnered with them in the past, Cry, and a couple of other NGOs that have done incredible job.
Great. So I want to ask that, does it take a pandemic for social media platforms to throw up challenges, for public awareness and meaningful, or shouldn't it be, something that goes parallelly apart from, the fun challenges? Fun is too important.
So Nandita, I'll be honest, in terms of, TikTok specifically in India, we've been doing campaigns and related to health and other social issues and even hygiene for that matter. Earlier we had done a couple of campaigns in the past. We had done campaigns from skilling to, under EduTalk. Then we did the Clean India campaign in the month of, September. Where we had partnered with Bhumi, which is the largest, independent youth volunteer nonprofit organization. And, the campaign received over 4.1 billion video views at then. So it was not, TikTok as first is not the first platform that now speaking about Safe Hands. We've done A couple of other campaigns related to health. There was one campaign that we had done with the Love Matters and Population Foundation of India around promoting, healthy reproductive health, and couple of other, themes which are pertinent around the health sector. So we have been doing this in the past. I think it's come to more limelight, at a time when everyone is speaking about it. Yeah.
Right, and communication formats are changing, because something as hygiene behavior, you communicate it through various mediums, but once it goes on social media and social platforms, and once it goes viral, it just makes things easy for everybody else, right? Do you, and social campaigns are coming up more, right? How do you see it? How do you see the engagement happening? How, and do you think it, it's just a bubble, or a small time bubble for right now, or is it, how do we sustain it over a longer period?
Sure. So, as the world embraces the smartphone era, I think, and bringing about shorter attention spans and a change in behavior of creating and consuming content, I think TikTok is becoming, and actually has become, a preferred platform for creative expression, given its low boundaries for sharing, creating, and discovering, all made easy on mobile. And during this pandemic, we have enabled and empowered, our users with several in-app initiatives and challenges. Just to highlight, some of the work that has happened. We had launched one campaign last month around Ghar Baito India, that is stay safe at home. Stay at home. And this campaign was launched in partnership with UNDP, which invited users to share ideas on how to stay safe and beat the lockdown blues. And there were series of other sub campaigns that were rolled under this broader campaign around TikTok concert, Dine with Me, TikTok Chef, EduTalk. And collectively, all these campaigns have actually garnered over 35.1 billion video views. So there is a huge potential and appetite for such content on the platform, and I strongly feel that it always existed. It's just that the things are getting amplified and coming to limelight now. In fact, we have our very prominent EduTalk initiative, which was basically an effort to highlight TikTok's commitment to propel India's creative economy and its contribution to our digital lives. And we had launched this initiative last year, in October. And you will be surprised to hear, at the time when we had launched this initiative, it had already around 39 billion video views at then. And it has, last when I checked a couple of weeks back, we had already crossed, I think, around 65 billion video views. So there is always an appetite for, content which is packaged well, which resonates with the audience, which is, need of the hour. So if there's a strong urge or a need from the society to have content around health or hygiene, people will prefer to see those pieces of content. In fact, we've also had a lot of credible celebrities coming on our platform, and speaking about safe hands, in terms of different practices of keeping yourselves safe during COVID-19. And in fact, it is important to also highlight, as part of COVID-19, if you see the different phases of COVID-19, there is a different need at every point of time of the user as well. Therefore, platforms like TikTok, we continue to partner with the non-profits on various other themes, other than just talking about in terms of how to keep yourself safe and clean. But we went ahead and even partnered with, say, Indian Psychiatric Society, where we onboarded more than 50 doctors to actually create content, and speak about the mental health issues, which one actually people go through during this crisis. Other than that, we've done a partnership with Central Square Foundation, which is a leading NGO, and they've come up with their app Top Parent. So we spoke about we spoke about positive parenting, in terms of in times of COVID-19. So I think it's very important, I think, for the platform as well as for the users to follow the in terms of the need. So if the need for the users is there is looking for content which is around mental health or issues which concern and matter them the most. I think TikTok offers a diverse set of creators and content, and therefore you'll see people liking the platform and aggressively using the platform.
I want to ask a question is that, and you can clarify on that platforms like TikTok, they need influencers, they need celebrities to push, a campaign or, an issue or a thing forward, unless someone, if a non-profit does it or any other, organization does it, which does not have, big budgets to push it on TikTok. How do they navigate this space?
I would say this is absolutely incorrect. I would say, in terms of, I can speak about certain campaigns where we've had non-profits actually beating, other trending topics and other trending campaigns. I would speak about, a campaign that we had done with UN Women last year. It was around 16 days of activism, and where we spoke about a very serious issue about domestic violence, right, against women, and it was violence against women, sorry. And the partnership with UN Women, which is again without they've not run any ads on the platform, and it was very organic. And the campaign had received over 1 billion video views. So having and it's not just and I mentioned earlier, to your point about partnerships with other non-profits, like the campaign with Bhumi, for that matter, garnered around 4.1 billion video views. So it's not true. I think what really matters is in terms of what type of content a respective NGO or any creator is serving. So and as TikTok, we have zero control over the editorial. In terms of the editorial, we have zero control over the editorial and the type of content that the creators create. I think everyone has the freedom to come openly and express and creatively come and express on the platform.
Yeah. I'll take up a question that has come from Pragna Shekhar. She's saying, with the pandemic putting women and girls in a vulnerable position, TikTok can be a medium to engage and build safe spaces for them to access information on stigmatized topics like menstrual health and or sexual or reproductive health. How do you see TikTok playing a role here to build digital safe spaces for these women and girls? It's from Sukhi Bhava Foundation.
Great question. I think thanks, Ishita, right? If I'm correct, Prabha, sorry. So thank you so much for the question. In fact, you will be glad to know if you just log into the app at the moment. We are already running a campaign in partnership with UN Women. This is our second campaign with them. That is He for She. And we are openly speaking about, in terms of, women are going through a lot of challenges these days. There's additional workload burden apart from just the routine job that they had earlier, and men are at home. Therefore, through our partnership with UN Women, we are trying to openly talk about such issues in the app. And you see, and there's an amazing already there's an amazing response from our audience. I think last when I checked, it was around 65 million video views. I'm sure it must have already bypassed this number. And other than that, we've done a lot of initiatives in the past, like I just mentioned in my previous response, with the UN Women and with other leading organizations. So your feedback is well taken, and in fact, we will continue to work and stride in the same manner in which we've been always encouraged to do, and we will continue to build those partnerships with these credible NGOs and organizations in this space.
Yeah, Nitin, would you like to talk about how brands are also doing, social campaigns or TikTok, like the Life Boy Corona on TikTok? I saw with Badshah, like he just killed it on that. It takes something in terms of public messaging and awareness to another level.
Yeah, so Nandita, while this question is great, but unfortunately, I'm not the right spokesperson for answering this question. But I would like to instead, highlight and talk about in terms of how government has been using the platform. TikTok. We talk about the users, of course. We've talked. You mentioned about influencers and creators and celebrities. I think it's also important to highlight, because um, understanding the far-reaching impact of TikTok and social media in general that can actually have, law enforcement agencies, have been using TikTok specifically to spread awareness around COVID-19 and other issues as well. And to mention a few of them, we've had Bangalore Police, Delhi Police, Kerala, Uttarakhand, Punjab Police. In fact, Punjab Police, in a very unique manner, has been creating songs, skits, memes, and also at times issuing advisory, videos to reach out to their masses and to create awareness about COVID-19. And in fact, we've had recently some chief ministers of Maharashtra, Kerala, and others coming on a platform and doing, live streaming and making those, announcements and issuing advisories. So I think it's important to highlight that. And apart from the government, I would mention that, we have different accounts like, the nodal agency for, government communication, that's PIB, Press Information Bureau, MyGov, which is the leading think tank of the government. They all have been aggressively coming on board with the verified accounts, pushing verified and trusted information through their networks. And I think it's an important step, and it's heartening to see, in terms of how even government and law enforcement agencies are, getting onto TikTok and other social media platforms and coming all together to actually, spread awareness about this COVID-19, crisis.
Right. No, it's great that using the power of reach and influence of social media platforms like TikTok, which can influence millions, actually millions, for awareness and messaging that is so critical, and which is by the government or by officials themselves. I would also like to ask you that in the pipeline, we are saying that, hygiene, hand washing, focus on water, we need to focus on that. Does TikTok have a plan? Or does it have a plan going forward? That how do you keep a sustained conversation on social media platforms?
Yeah. So, as a commitment in India and in fact globally, TikTok has actually launched a program which is TikTok for Good. And under this umbrella, the company has already done a lot of work, which is out there already, and we have in fact launched more than around 20 plus campaigns, related to different social, issues in the past. So therefore, it's not that we have we intend to now build a plan after COVID-19. We've been doing this work, ever since, the operations have kicked off specifically in India, and, starting from the International Yoga Day to talk about partnership with the National Skill Development Council around skilling, talking about, Clean India, talking about, mental health issues. We've done some partnership with Suicide Prevention India Foundation, partnerships with Fortis around unmute yourself. So, there have been numerous such campaigns, in fact, with Cry around promoting childhood, and other such themes that we've always worked with. In fact, it's an extended invite to the WaterRed, team, and specifically, since you are leading the comms there, along with your other teammates, I would love to actually associate with WaterAid, because when we are promoting, say hand wash, it is also stressing out other resources like water, for example. And I think it's imperative for us to have that dialogue, to have that discussion out there, and so that users also, are well informed about the advantages, the disadvantages of whatever they're doing, right? So I think it is an extended invite. We would love to partner with your organization, and in fact, if you have other organizations and whoever's listening to this, session, if you think that you have a good idea and that you think it can create some social change and for social good, please reach out to us. We are readily available, and we will work together to ensure that your message is, sent out loud and clear to our audience.
Thank you, Nitin. We will definitely take up this invitation, and post this session, we're going to have a conversation on that how can WaterAid and TikTok collaborate. Of course, yes, there's something that needs to be done, a campaign on water immediately. There's summer, which is here. There's scarcity going to happen. And if there's going to be scarcity, there's no hand washing going to happen. So, it's all tied up together. And of course, using mediums like TikTok is a brilliant way to reach out to so many people, and influence them and make them aware, and even imbibes good habits. Saving water, good habits, very simple habits make a lot of difference. I'm going to stop here. If you have, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll move on to the next session. Our speaker is Jitendra Dabas. Thank you so much, Nitin, for joining us.
Thank you, Anita. Have a good day, guys. Bye.
Thanks.